Carl, according to multiple Democratic sources, this is happening all of a sudden. Everyone said it would happen gradually and then all at once, and that's what's happening. According to my sources, President Biden has agreed to step down as the Democratic nominee.
Oh,
It will
man.
happen as early as this weekend. A speech has been drafted for him. He will continue on as president, is his intention. He also will not, I'm told, endorse Vice President Harris as his successor. They're hoping that he will endorse an open process in which the convention will be open to Vice President Harris and a few other candidates in Chicago to pick the Democratic nominee for president. The belief is that Vice President Harris is already looking at potential running mates to go to Chicago with a full ticket, including one possibility, Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, and perhaps
I really don't like this. I have it on good authority from a guy that told me from some guy that actually knew from his mother who's cousin with... I don't like this type of information. So take into account that it's still possible Joe Biden is going to run for president. Not only did he assure people so many times that he will, it's also that in some states legally impossible for him not to run. Like, there are certain swing states which, as I understand it, would completely be lost, and it would be defaulted to the Republicans. Like, the only way this wouldn't happen is if the current candidate just passes away. But other than that, it's too close to the deadline for them to change. At least that's my understanding. If it's not like that, please correct me in the comments section. I'm not very familiar with every single state law. But this was already discussed the first time they tried to entertain the idea of Biden dropping out. Now, with that out of the way, is it possible? It is. It is possible that Biden will actually drop out. And this is due to the huge amount of pressure that is being put on him from his own party. And you can see this from the outside. None of the things that we've seen at the debate where Biden was having a lot of senior moments, like, none of those things were new. He was a gaffe machine way before that debate, but for some reason the press never pressed him in on it. You would notice how the press would always give him softballs. You would notice how the press was very obedient towards the White House press secretary, even when things were, like, absolutely batshit insane. Like, for example, the case with the cocaine in the White House. Why weren't they asking more questions? Why weren't they a little bit more unsatisfied with the conclusion? Or the case where Biden says, oh, well, if China invades Taiwan, America will defend it, which goes against America's policy, and that is to be ambiguous on this matter. It has been for decades. So Biden says that, and then the White House, a couple of hours later, goes like, well, actually, the White House has decided that, no, Biden was wrong. And you know, it begs the question, it's like, who leads the White House then? And again, like, the press didn't do anything. So to see the press, after the debate, all of a sudden starting to pressure Biden, all of a sudden writing articles against him, it goes to show that people from the Democratic Party are unhappy with Biden. It's not that the press is subservient to Biden. The press is subservient to the Democrats, or more likely the people that are their interest groups, the donors. So they are the ones that don't like Joe Biden. Now the question is, why don't they like Joe Biden? Is it because he's got senior moments? Like, no, because they liked him up till now. In fact, they don't even care who the nominee is as long as they have a D in front of their name. Like, they just want a guy that goes there, signs the papers, reads the script from the prompter, has an earpiece with the person that's telling him what to say, and that's it. Like, they just want the figurehead. They don't actually want the politician. They don't actually want the statement. So they're really happy with Biden, but they are worried that he may not win. They are worried that, first, the debate was really bad, and then after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, I have seen polls where Kamala Harris is polling better than Biden. So they're legitimately worried that they're going to lose the election. And even Nancy Pelosi went on there and she's not confident. And you have, like, other people like the Obamas and many others, and they're not confident that they can win the election. And when you look at the conflict with Ukraine, when you look at Israel, when you're looking at other things that they have planned, like CBDC and many other issues that take more than 4 years to implement, they don't really want to lose the election, especially not to someone like Donald Trump. You know, if it was a Nikki Haley or a Republican that they could work for, they would love that, but not someone like Donald Trump. So they want to get someone else besides Joe Biden that may have a better chance at least winning the election. So the question is who? And the question is Joe Biden going to play ball? Well, apparently, if this is true, he's going to partially play ball. The perfect way for him to play ball would have been to resign as president and let Kamala Harris become the president de facto, and then she would choose a vice president that the voters would love. I mean, this would be the normal way of doing it, right? But because he doesn't want to endorse her, shows that he's not going to fully play ball with this. So why wouldn't he endorse her? Well, I don't think they like each other, to be honest. Take into account that almost no one wanted to be Joe Biden's vice president. Like, remember the Democratic debates? Joe Biden didn't even pull that well. So for him becoming the nominee was a little bit weird. But no one wanted to be his vice president. I remember, like, there were other people that were asked besides Kamala. Because Kamala was the one that actually pressed him the hardest during the debate. And she went all the way and asked, like, well, you know, you put a lot of black people in prison and you did all of these things back in the day and you said all these things and now you want to present yourself as an anti-racist. And this was, like, at the peak of the BLM riot. And then all of a sudden she's now the vice president and she's like, oh, well, it was a debate. So it feels to me like these aren't two people that had history before or that like each other a lot. No, these are individuals that were placed to work with each other for the interest of special groups. So they don't. I don't think they like each other that much. And for those of you who may have missed it because of the gaffe where Biden mistakes Trump with Kamala Harris, if you put that gaffe aside and actually listen to what the man was trying to say, he was trying to say that Kamala Harris would make an awful president. Which is a really nasty thing to say, given the fact that the woman may have her own political ambitions. Even if Biden was to be reelected, maybe she wants to have a go. And surely the soundbite is going to come back and haunt her. So you wouldn't say something like this, even if it was true, about a person that you actually like. You wouldn't say this publicly in front of the cameras. And the only reason that he says it is because there was pressure from the party at the time for him to step down, and he's like reminding people, hey, you know, like, my vice president is horrible, like, don't actually think about getting rid of me, because, like, you're going to get her. So, yeah, I don't think he likes Kamala Harris, so I don't think he's going to step down. He may even not endorse anyone. That would also be funny. So he may just say, oh, I'm sick. I just got diagnosed. I'm sick. COVID or something. I don't know. And he all of a sudden can't continue the campaign and he's out, doesn't endorse anyone. Fuck you. I mean, he can't do that. He's an old man, right? So there's like no more political ambitions that he has after this. But we'll see what's going to happen. So it's kind of like 50-50 because it's in his court. Like, does he want to continue or not? Because up until now, we noticed the pressure. He constantly says that he wants to continue, but there's just so many donors that pull back. There are so many people that can be dissatisfied to the point where even if you want to continue, you got to step back. Because at the end of the day, being president is not a one-man job. You know, even though it's like the president is the figurehead, he's the one guy. There's an entire political party and system behind him. And without their support, you can't actually manage to get the job. I mean, up until now, I don't think there has been a single independent that's ever been president of the United States. So, yeah, there's probably going to be, you know, people trying to entice him. It's like, hey, you know, we're going to give you more money. We're going to give you more this and that. Just step down. There may even be people that will threaten him. It's like, hey, you know, we got these sound bites from way back, or we got this video footage that, you know, you probably would like to go away. It would be a shame if this was your legacy. I wouldn't be shocked if things were like that. But again, like, the fact that he is very old makes him immune to a lot of blackmail. Like, what can they have on him? Even if they did something nasty. He's old. Like, he doesn't have any more political ambitions. So, probably why he managed to withstand against all this pressure. But I guess we'll see over the weekend, won't we? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.